Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. In today's video, we're checking out some stuff from AFK Inside about the new Awaken character that we should be getting patch notes probably about just over a day away. And then normally with Awakened Heroes, the actual update on the test server happens late, so we might be like 4 or 5 days unless they speed it up this time. But for some reason, they always do them a bit later. But what we have is they've been putting this stuff on social media, talking about a mysterious figure emerges. They've been doing some hints, like talking about the Taylene sort of arc and stuff like that. They put this out. To me, I thought this was going to be a wilder unit, but so once again, take this with a grain of salt because this is from AFK Inside, so things can change. But we have these images from the game, and once again, this looks like a wilder unit, but it looks like it's actually going to be a Hypogean like version of Taylene or something. I'm not sure how the lore works into it. I don't think it's a Hypogean version of Taylene. I think it's like, I don't know, some sort of other Obsidian Finch. I'm not great on the lore, but we'll have to wait and see. So I'll definitely cover it. All I know is we're getting another video, and I love these videos. The Awakened Hero videos are sick, so I'm happy with that. So then we'll find out what the relationship is to Taylene and all that sort of stuff. Evil Sister, I don't know. Who knows? Let me know if you guys have any ideas. But we do have this. So once again, take this with a grain of salt. This is translated as well. There's no exact numbers and stuff. So this is just an idea to look at. But if this is the abilities, thing looks absolutely cracked. So let me move my head for this one while we read these skills, and then we'll swap around. So starting off with the ultimate, and Matria, I think that's it, like Matria. I think I got that right. Dusk Feather. Cool beans. So it looks like, I feel like she was originally meant to be wilder and then she got turned Hypogean somehow. I don't know. But let's go. Crash and burn. So actually we might do the second ability first because the ultimate refers to it. So Immortal Blaze. Let's do this one first. Matria deals damage to enemies in front of her for X% of her attack rating and hurls a cataclysmic flame at the enemy within range with the highest attack rating. An enemy being burned by a cataclysmic flame loses X% of their max health per second. So we've got max health scaling up to X% of her attack rating. Cataclysmic flames cannot be dispelled. If an enemy being burned by a cataclysmic flame is hit by another cataclysmic flame, the enemy will lose X amount of energy and the flame will turn into apocalyptic flame. While the health, and this will cause the health and the enemy loses per second to be increased. The apocalyptic, dude, I'm getting this word. I feel like I'm there. Flame will revert to a cataclysmic flame after X seconds. The effects of apocalyptic flame are not stackable, but their duration can be extended. So AoE hits everyone in front of her, and then the one with the highest attack gets burnt. If they get burnt again by that, they take added effects and lose some energy. That's pretty much what it is. So this is going to be the signature item upgrades. The duration of apocalyptic flame is increased to X seconds. The duration of the flame gets increased again while being burned by an apocalyptic flame. Dude, this is tough. An enemy's tenacity and dissolve are both reduced by X points. And then 30 signature item. If an enemy being burned by a cataclysmic flame or apocalyptic flame is hit by another cataclysmic flame through the skill Immortal Blaze, the cataclysmic flame will spread to the nearest enemy, prioritizing enemies that are not being burnt by a cataclysmic flame. So it gives spread capabilities for that one. So those are the two types of flame that get referred to over here when we look at the ultimate. So now let's go through the ultimate. Crash and burn. Matria, it keeps saying materia, I don't know why. Matria deals damage to all enemies for X% of her attack rating. If a hit enemy is being burned by a cataclysmic flame or apocalyptic flame, any shields they receive over the next X seconds will be destroyed after X seconds. The seconds on this is huge. If it's like after like 15 seconds, well, they'll be broken anyway, but keen to see how it works. When an enemy shield is destroyed, they take damage equal to the shield's remaining value. This effect cannot stack and can only trigger once every X seconds. This damage cannot exceed X% of her attack rating. If an enemy being burned by an apocalyptic flame is hit by Matria's ultimate skill, it will also terrify them for X seconds. So big AoE damage. If they're burning, they'll get terrified for X seconds. And then also any shields they receive while they've like up for an amount of time After an amount of time, the shields will be just dissipated and they'll take damage equal to the remaining shield. Essentially what it is. It's a bit confusing on wording. They love doing this with wording on skills. Anyway, moving on from that. This one, which is your... What are these ascensions? I can't remember where these skills come from anymore, but these like level up. Level up? Is it level up or is it ascension? I can't remember. Anyway, the 2 skill ups. For every enemy being burned by a cataclysmic flame or apocalyptic flame, the damage of this skill is increased by X%. If Immortal Blaze has been unlocked when Materia uses this skill, the enemy who has dealt the most total damage will be hit by a cataclysmic flame, and they will deal X% less damage for the next X seconds. This effect cannot stack. Cool beans. Now, let's go down to the next one. From the ashes, every time Matria dies, she transforms into a fireball. Sounds familiar. While in a fireball mode, she is not considered a living hero. Cannot be targeted and will resurrect when her allies have used their active skills X amount of times, or allied heroes have died, or all allied heroes have died. Before she resurrects, the damage dealt by her cataclysmic flame is reduced by X%. I'm not too sure what that means. As in like it like keeps reducing her damage over time. I'm not sure. When she resurrects, Matria damages nearby enemies for X% of her attack rating and terrifies them for X seconds. Kind of like a Thorin revive. Matria can resurrect up to X times. This skill cannot be used while you have Taylene in your formation. Interesting. Can't wait to see the interactions. And it's obviously not another form of Taylene because you can have Taylene in the team. She just can't resurrect when Taylene's in the team, so that's interesting. When Matria resurrects, she damages nearby enemies for X% of her attack rating. For every enemy celestial or dimensional hero on the battlefield, the number of times her allies need to use their active skills for her to resurrect is reduced by X. Matria can now resurrect up to X times, so she gets increase in that. For every enemy celestial or dimensional... okay. Did I say celestial or Hypogean? I don't even know what I was saying. Celestial or dimensional hero on the battlefield, the damage dealt by cataclysmic flame is increased by X%. Cool beans. Let's jump over here. You can see some treasure scramble usage of this, definitely. I can see everything usage. Like, this kit's pretty cracked. Okay. Smoldering Flame. Whenever a hero's health falls below X%, they become fuel for the Solaran Furnace, and an X second countdown begins. The hero dies when the countdown ends. It's like Ezio on steroids. No. Well, yeah, kind of, because like it takes longer to kill than Ezio's once they hit the threshold, but like it buffs her, which is cool. This effect can only be triggered once for each hero. During the countdown, Matria absorbs X points of the hero's energy. After the affected hero dies, they leave behind a smoldering flame that deals damage for X% of Matria's attack rating to nearby heroes every second. When this skill is used against a boss, it will deal one-off damage to the boss for X% of her attack rating. And then we've got these are engravings. If the countdown is for an allied hero, the damage they take will be reduced by X%. If the countdown is for an enemy hero, the damage they take is increased. So while the countdown's happening, allies basically, it's trying to say that the enemies might die before the countdown and the allies hopefully last till the end of the countdown is pretty much the intention from that one, as I understand it. Then, when the countdown ends, Matria permanently receives the hero's current attack rating, defense rating, and remaining health. That is busted. Up to X% of her initial... Okay, so it has got a cap. I can't wait to see numbers on this kit. When the hero's smoldering flame appears nearby enemies... nearby enemies will be burned by cataclysmic flames. This effect can also trigger if the hero dies before the countdown ends. Then we have the Awakening skill. Fallen Flame. Allied heroes that are not dimensionals or celestials will be regarded by Materia as Hypogeans and receive Hypogean factional bonuses as in-combat buffs. These in-combat buffs will be based on the number of Hypogeans in your formation, including heroes regarded as Hypogeans for these skills. These in-combat buffs will not affect any factional bonuses in effect at the start of battle. The affected heroes will also gain X% damage bonus against Celestials and proficiency points in this battle. So the way I'm reading this is that it's just basically saying you get to just stack up your you just get to stack your Hypogean buff if you're not using Dimensionals or Celestials. That's the way I'm reading it. But it's also saying it doesn't change before battle. So do you get like, say you bring her with like 4 light bearers. Do you get the 4-piece light bearer bonus and then also a 5-piece Hypogean bonus? This confuses me. At least it's very easy to test. It should be easy to test at least, I think. So we'll have to wait and see when she drops in the game. But that is pretty cool. In general, a pretty cracked kit in my opinion. Big AoE damage, big burning damage, max HP damage. She's got self-revives. She's got like executes that also buff her by the attack of the destroyed unit. Like there is a ton in this. I can see just using suicide teammates. So for me, this skill here, when we get into high deficit range, you can have really strong attackers that just get one shot by enemies if they don't have invincibility. So you literally chuck her in with a bunch of really strong units that don't have invincibility, so they all get one shot, and then she just goes, haha, easy clap. That's what I'm envisioning. I could be wrong. It depends how much attack and defense and stuff she can stack, but it sounds pretty crazy to me. Anyway, once again, hopefully we get patch notes either to like in the next day and a half or so, and then we can look at it. Hopefully the patch doesn't come too late, but normally the patches are later on the test server for Awakened Heroes. I think they do that so they don't release all the videos and stuff too soon. So I'm going to say probably like 5 days till we actually get this in-game to verify and test and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.